Hi everybody, welcome to the Dear Angola series. My name is Karen and I'm here with
Alfred.
So we know that the oral exams are at the doorway and the pressure is so high. So this video is here to guide you on how to approach oral exams as an LDC student. I'm going to be asking Alfred a few questions that I know every LDC student would want answers to, and he will help us and advise us. So you're welcome, Alfred. The first question I want to ask you is about preparation. How does an LDC student prepare for the oral exams?
Oral exams, basically, the preparation will even start from bachelor's, but since it is now too late to talk about bachelor's.
Oh wow, did you have to say that? Okay.
Yeah, that's the honest truth. You can start from the time that now you are these weeks for preparing for exams. So first, most people advise having discussion groups, so but you first need to know you personally what works for you.
Get your pen and notebook, by the way, right?
So knowing what works for you depends on your personality. So there are people who are introverted and they understand best when they read their things, and then there are those who are extroverted and for them they understand what real discussion is. Though personally, I would advise the first personal reading, and for personal reading, you would first consider your workshops from your notes.
Okay.
Because I believe by the end of the examiner from first term up to second term. So I've been making notes. So the first thing we would look at your notes.
So personal reading, you mean I'm in my room, I sit down and read?
Yes, from where you're comfortable reading from.
Do you recommend summaries, writing summaries as I'm reading?
No, personally I would think I would recommend you already have your notes which you have been making.
Okay.
So everyone has his own reading, as long as your personal reading is reading.
Okay.
So now that one even goes to now which you do five categories subjects. So each category, so each subject has how you can best prepare for it. Let's start with criminal. I think criminal, the moment you read, if you read your notes for criminal, and then the three major acts for criminal, that's the Magistrates Courts Act, the Trial and Enactments Act, and the Criminal Procedure Code Act. If you combine that with the notes and some case law, you'll have the basic knowledge to start it off. The other category A will be corporate and commercial. Now that one is very wide. I would recommend you start with the ones which are a bit not too wide and you finish them, because the preparing is you want to read the one category and you finish it, then you go to another category. So if you finish criminal, you have read your notes and those three basic acts, you go to still family, because family also has the three major acts. You have the Marriage Act, the Succession Act, and the Act.
Today is your day. Today the lights are on you.
It is Children's Act. Yeah. So basically, because you won't avoid any question about children, about marriage and succession. So reading is just perusing through the acts. When you peruse through something, the flashback comes back with time. When they ask you a question in the exam and you read about it. Just not reading to cram whatever you like, but when you read about it somehow, the answer will come back. Okay. For you have dealt with criminal family, so the next will be civil litigation. Now there's a civil litigation. And I can't tell you to peruse through the CPR, but that would be the best option. And perusing it is not cramming the rules as they were.
Okay.
If it is so much, you can just cram more than the favor service of someone is that is about execution.
And is the CPA also required?
Yeah, CPA, yeah.
Okay.
But CPA and the CPR.
Okay, mostly.
Mostly, I'm looking at the salient laws for each. If you are after reading your notes, then we go to after you have now land. Land, you don't need to read the Land Act, perusing through it, and the RTA, Registration of Titles Act. Because most of the things are still there. Then you go now to corporate, which has all the acts I can't need to count.
Okay.
So Now that one doesn't work for you. Okay, basically it will work for you. Another mode of preparation now you have done your personal reading, the notes and then the major acts. So I would recommend now going to, with you for each subject, there's a person who knows that subject. For each subject, each student has a person out of, because of his working experience, something he knows without even off-head, like because of his practice. Let me take for example, what do you know of head? You don't need to go back to the act to tell me about it.
Mostly corporate and commercial.
Even corporate and commercial is wide. Let's use, okay, I actually know company registration.
Yes, company registration, okay.
So basically now for a corporate and commercial, so each person has his major law which he knows. So I know to have everything. Instead of me bothering the company's act and I read about registration and everything, I'm going to have an evening with Karen and he tells me everything about company registration.
Or even intellectual property.
Intellectual property.
Yeah.
So
that is on the LDC, sadly. Okay.
Yes, I'm sure Karen and tells me everything about company registration from A to Z, paying returns, the members, what to include in the members, the roles of the company secretary, roles of directors, what were the officers in the Companies Act. So Karen will save me from the Companies Act. Now basically, now like for my case, Karen will know, okay, never will know her Hartford. I can tell you everything about the officer without looking at the procedure rules. So from each person, because of it, there are people who came to this year after working, or there are people who love some course units, and because of the experience, they know all the basic things about that subject without basically reading, going back to read the law.
But then what happens if someone does not have those friends that are good at this particular subject?
So
what would you recommend for them? There are people who are really introverted and they don't have the courage to go and say, Alfred, help me with the civil procedures, or help me with so and so subject. So how would you advise them to overcome
Then I think those are those who would go for discussions, because with discussions we presume that each person discusses in the discussion group, each person discusses the subject he understands best. But for my example, I had a colleague who before coming to this was working in lands. So this person knew everything about land registration and all the procedures. He didn't need to go to the land regulations to know about it. So he would tell you the practical bit of it. There was also a colleague who knew company registration because he had worked at the company registry. So I didn't need to, after reading my personal reading, I had to look at that. So this guy now, even other colleagues now knew Alfred because of his work, his experience, had knowledge of civil procedure or what. So they would, after reading and maybe trying to read the solution and it's not working, he comes to and you have a thorough conversation on everything dealing with civil procedure. So basically you get to go, after your personal reading, you look out for each person who knows a particular subject very well.
Or attend discussions.
But that would actually basically I think discussion should be after your personal reading. That's what I would suggest when you're preparing for them.
Okay. So mostly, you know that you've talked about two types of preparations. You talked about reading and discussions. Which one is your most recommended? Which one would be your top? That if someone did this one and did not, even if someone did one and they don't do the other, they would still succeed.
Okay, personal reading. Personal reading, yeah, because I recommend personal reading because personal reading is you knows your.
So by reading, do you say reading, just reading, or reading and appreciating? Because there are two different things.
Read and appreciate. You don't even try to cram. You want to read your notes and then the salient laws of that category you want to use.
Thank you very much. So, on the day before exams, what ought to be done? What should I do as an LDC?
On the day before exams, that's when you see you have done your personal reading and you think you read. You have land transactions tomorrow, and you're bad at it. You read everything about land transactions in your mind. You read and you had discussions. This is where that friend who is very good at addresses comes on board. I go to him and I even nickname him or her. or registrar or land law lawyer. First, I have learned tomorrow. So control must be like school me. So the guy who says you like now if you have civil education tomorrow, you start with you have civil education tomorrow. First, take me through. After taking you, so like just ask me anything you feel like. So it tests you how prepared you are. That's the first point. Because at that point, there's no more reading to me. Then
because there's unnecessary pressure.
Exactly. So they don't then you mean to have enough sleep because that sleep is another
and
point.
Enough food.
About food. Yeah, anyway, enough food.
Okay.
So that's the day before, the night before, and have your documents prepared. Like,
and now on that day, how
on
do
the
I
day.
relax,
Now,
calm down?
Now
the pressure can.
Yeah. Now on the day usually you have to wait from the tent. They call each person to go and for the to appear before the panel. So in that waiting, there are people who absorb emotions. In that waiting trend, everyone is scared. The emotion is there, fear, depression, what?
Anxiety.
If you also know who absorbs emotions, you rather avoid being close in the tent. That's it. Then the thing you should avoid is people have a tendency of Karen goes and then when it's out, what they ask you, then you realize the things they ask Karen, you don't know them. So you go back and
start
reading. So each person who comes out is meant to ask what they have asked.
Yeah.
Before you know it, what you say that most people they have asked them things and you don't know them. So it will give you an as if you don't know. And as if you didn't prepare well. Yet each person has his own questions.
Yes.
So you rather leave it. So in that tent, if you can't help it, you can be in the tent with maybe personally your headset so you don't even want to know whatever is happening. Or you can be in the tent just having banters or jokes around as well, relaxing. Because you have done your preparation is enough. If you can't help it, you rather start because you have people coming from the panel, others crying, very many feelings, others just running away. So they may get you scared. Yeah.
So okay, now you know that when facing these panelists, confidence is like that number one thing they want to see.
Yes.
So how do I maintain confidence before those panelists? How do I be confident? What do you recommend?
Now, confidence actually carries 5 marks. So the first thing to be confident, you know, you have ever heard of enter the room like they have been waiting for you. Like you know that they say enter the room like everyone wants you, likes you there.
Like
so,
someone big sent you there.
You know, like how I come, I'm music. I come in the room like Ken has been waiting for me all over. So there's that confidence in the room I'm going to, they like me there.
Welcome.
I'm welcome in the room. Then another thing, you know, confidence comes when you're talking. Most people fear the partners or exams because they know you're going to talk to people who know the whole everything, like professors, people who are really senior lawyers.
Yeah.
So what
you can't lie to.
So
lie to us.
So the fear is in like, what am I even going to lie to them? So how do you handle that fear? The first thing is you should look at those people, at least imagine them first as your friend.
Okay.
Now, as your friend, you can't share your friend when you're talking to your friend. Like if I'm talking to you, I'll be as free as I can.
Yes.
So I'll be there facing the pan, but my imagination I'm talking to Karen. So that's what is my imagination. So the next thing that you should imagine is I'm talking to a client. Now this one works well with the client thing. Because for a client, imagine like you're in office, a client comes in and he says, I want to see counsel. Then you're like, you first pay consultation fees before you see him. So the solicitor tells him, I first pay consultation fees. So the client now pays consultation fees. So by the time the client comes to ask you, he is confident that you are going to answer whatever he is going to consult on.
Yeah.
So it's now the PAs you have entered. So you look at them as if they are clients. So they are clients who you are confident that you are going to answer whatever they ask you. So now with the client, when the client asks you something, even when you don't know the answer after him going through that aspect of selfies and everything, and he has the confidence in that you know the answer, you know whatever is going to consult from. You can't even say, attention, I don't know. So basically, when he asks you, you have to figure out at least what to tell that person, whether it is wrong or right, because at that point he knows whatever you're telling him is right. So that's the confidence part of it. So you look at either as a friend or
as a client.
So the third piece would be as a colleague, because now you're my colleague. I know. So you enter the panel as you're going to discuss law with your colleagues, legal things with your colleagues, the way you can be in discussion without discussing, maybe with you.
Yeah.
So these people are, because these examiners are actually your colleagues. It's just like a matter of, now since you are in oral time, you have like 4 months to finish the course. So it's just a matter of time, and you have to go this and they become your colleagues. Exactly. So basically, when you're talking to your colleague, there's no fear amongst you. So between your colleagues, so you need to talk. So you either see them as your best friend. So you can't need to basically doing like your friend. You be as confident as possible. You be free. Or your client, you can't appear shaking before your client.
And also, I know we attach this whole superiority mindset to our seniors, respect to them. But the truth of the matter is that they are human beings like us. They make mistakes like us. I've seen our seniors that have taught us what we know in the law make mistakes in court. So if only you could go with that mindset that these are normal human beings that make mistakes, that have been where I am before. However much they try to show us that they're superior, yes they are, but at the end of the day, they are fellow human beings that are just like they are like us. You get. So put that in your mind, and you'll get some confidence.
So you have got friend, colleague, or client, because you don't want to appear unconfident before a client. And so these are like your clients going to ask you 3 questions, and you're supposed to answer them because they paid maybe their questions to ask from you. So that's how you can get the confidence part of it.
Okay, now also another thing is usually appreciation of the law. You know it carries marks.
Yes.
How do I achieve that as a student? How do I show these people that I actually appreciated the law? And like, how do I show it to them? How do I make them see it and know it?
So for that, I think I'll use my example. When I entered in the panel for corporate, they asked me the first question. It was about, there was like, this Baguma man, Baguma sells food in Ibarara. He has a restaurant, so like, this Baguma man, he sells food, but his food is just there, it doesn't taste well. So give me the implied terms in his contract. In my mind, I'm like, Now I knew, this is the scenario thing, looking at it as clients, so as my colleagues. So I knew that they wanted implied terms in the contract for supply of services, but I didn't know the answer I didn't have those answers. So as I was trying to figure out the answers, I said, I'm proceeding under the Sale of Goods and Supply of Services Act 2017. So I first gave the examiner the major law.
So is that what I should do?
At least because you can't remember the exact section is, but you have the major law. Okay. Another question they asked me, it was about parties to a purchase agreement, and they wanted 3 parties to a purchase agreement. So obviously, I didn't know where the exact section is, where those 3 parties are. That maybe section 3 provides for this, section 4 provides for this, but I just said, after application, the question I'm proceeding under the Purchase Act 2009. So basically, the application of the law, they want you that they're going to give you facts, the fact scenario. So the moment you can show them that I know the law, or I should proceed under the major law. And then you say that major law.
So you recommend that someone starts by mentioning the law to proceed.
Yes. So in between there, if you get what the exact section is, that you can patch them in. Because if let me say if they ask me to purchase agreement and their duties, and so if I would say I'm proceeding under Purchase Act 2000, that's the major law. So as I'm giving the parties, then I just under section 3 there is this party, under section 4 there is this party. So that's if I get notice. If I don't know, at least I would have told you the major law. So the examiner would have said that actually I got his facts and and he got to know the law he was guiding me to.
Okay. So,
then, yeah, just related to that, you need to be a bit, alert in the exam room or to listen. So you see, like for example, I entered in a criminal panel, and the moment I entered like this, the examiner was like, Alfred, I want to go back with you. In my mind I was like, oh. Okay. So, but now because I was looking, that's the confidence part of it. So the moment they said, the exam said, I want to go back with you, and me I entered the exam seeing them as they are my clients, the one I was addressing with you. So I'm like, where do you want, where are you? I first asked, where are you? So the impression was to know where I was, so that I know what it was a criminal panel. So it tells me I'm being charged before the appropriation court. And I'm like, before which person? Because I knew appropriation court, you can either appear before a judge or a magistrate. So it tells me before our shift. So now I know he wanted bail, so I'm going to apply for bail. So there's that kind of alertness, but because I did at the exam, the panel knowing that I'm going to talk to either my friends.
So imagine her. I can imagine if it was me they told I want to go back with you, I would first be like, wait, what? Where? How?
Yeah, I understand.
That's a nice one.
Because I'm like, where are you? Counsel, then like, I'm being charged before this person. Like, for which offense and corruption? Before who? The magistrate. Like. So I proceed now to apply for bail. So that's the kind of.
So what if it was before the judge?
Yeah, now it will mean when I'm proceeding, I have to cite the laws of the trial next act.
Yes.
But because now you told me magistrate, so I know I'm going to cite the laws for Magistrate Courts Act.
Yes. Okay.
Now for your case, actually, there's what they asked. I'm told she entered the panel. She entered the panel, and the moment she entered, the examiner just winked.
Oh my God.
And he was like, I've asked you the question. So, which answer would you give?
I'll pass.
Maybe to be precise, it was employment law. It was, sorry, for corporate and commercial. It was corporate and commercial panel. So I had told her that actually winking is a form of sexual harassment.
Sexual harassment, yes.
Exactly.
So policies, what?
So I'm just saying, actually, counsel that sexual harassment. When you look at the Employment Act, they said the Employment Act, it does a sexual harassment policy, and everything is part of sexual harassment. And you would have answered. But you see, that's the point of being alert and entering the room like they wanted you there, or look at them as your clients, as your colleagues, as your best friend. They are not there to fail you either way. They also want you to pass. So you don't have to discard of them.
Okay. So if they ask me a question, just like you gave me that example, and I honestly don't know the answer, how do I get out?
So that's why I told you to look at them as clients. So when a client asks you a question after paying the caption fees and what, you can't tell him that you don't know.
It has happened.
So it has happened, and the question is asked, you don't know it. You'd be like, so because now this is a panel. Counsel, can I beg pardon on your question?
As you're thinking,
that's
to buy time.
But you're begging pardon on the question, but basically you even had the question well, but you're just trying to, as you think.
Yeah.
Then after telling you the question, you say, okay, I'm proceeding under this act. So you just mention, at least show him that I know your question arises from this act. Because they can ask you a question and it's about maybe procurement, and you don't know the answer or the procedure for procurement sake, and basically you didn't read about it. Yeah? But because you are like, can I remain on the question, then at least after that, at least you quote the major act you want to proceed under. And after quoting it, you just start to answer whatever you feel is right to you. So in between there, when you answer whatever you feel, because now your first thing, whatever I'm saying is the right thing. So in between there, the examiner may lead you to the answer, the right answer. So because now you know that, either you know that, so the examiner will try to lead you to the ansers after seeing that you're trying. Instead of asking you
and you just look all cry, guys, don't cry.
Yeah, actually I told them to take away.
Yeah, and guys, start a far. Never cry before this guy.
Yes, like, counsel, beg pardon on your question. Meanwhile, you don't even know the answer, but I'm going to journal under this act. Then you start saying whatever you feel is the right answer. So deep down, the examiner will see you trying, and then he may try to lead you. Or even if he doesn't lead you, but at least you would have said something. So at least not leaving it open. If it's an exam, you're not leaving it like 10 marks going without trying. You would have said something and they give it.
At least they give you some 5 marks.
Off you for trying. At least you mentioned the law you wanted to proceed.
Every mark counts.
At least you mentioned the law you wanted to proceed. Yeah.
Okay. So there are these scenarios where the PA will ask you a question which he could possibly said, or ask a question from a topic that he could possibly said. You understand? How do I take advantage of that moment?
No, I think there are scenarios where PA gives you a chance to ask yourself a question, or from which topic. That's the scenario. Now, that scenario is very tricky because basically you may need to first read the PA telling you which topic to get from, and it is tricky because this is a chance for you to shine, so you don't want to say a topic you don't know. It happened to me in family. The PA asked me, Alfred, are you married? Then I'm like, Cancer, I'm not married. I'm like, which marriage do you want to conduct? So, reading from the PA, they were all female. First, reading the personality, the person asking.
You have to read the room.
So I read the room and I'm like, personally, I know about customary marriages and everything, but I'm like, I don't think they are ready to have customary marriages.
Yeah, everyone wants the wedding.
The ring. Yes. So I had to mention, if I'm going to married, I'll do church marriage. Then it was like, okay, proceed to conduct it. But that's an example. So you choose a topic you're comfortable with, but you also read the person asking you the kind of things he or she likes. Eh? If in the registrar, a person who besides working at LDC, is maybe a registrar at lands. So you ask you, where can I ask you from? Obviously, if you want to maybe ask me about it, if you read about now land registration and then procedure or version from leasehold to freehold, all everything. So because you know it's a registrar, that you can ask me about land registration.
So you choose a topic that you have read and understood and appreciated.
And even which you know that actually the one even wanting you to pick a question loves. So because the advantage is now when you answer that question, if you're meandering and not giving the right answer, you may try to keep guiding you because
he's passionate
about that topic.
And the conversation.
Exactly. You have to love the whole scenario.
Okay, so what should I expect as a law student, as an LDC student? What should I expect when I'm going for orals in those subjects, land transactions, families, procedure, criminal? What should I expect? Now
let's start for criminal. The criminal panel, at least most cases has 3 people. It has the person who works with the judicial officer. It has the person who has working as a state attorney, and the person in private practice. So at least so it will mean you expect to proceed as a judicial officer. Because the judicial officer is going to ask you, assuming you're a magistrate. Now a person who works in the state attorney's office will tell you, assuming you are appearing for the state and the matter is coming up to give submissions or no case to answer, proceed. If you are defense counsel, at least you will tell you, assuming you are defense and you want to, so at least you should be able to proceed in those 3 scenarios. Now when you go to so for criminal you go ready to at least try to go ready to proceed as a magistrate, judicial officer, and the state attorney. So it's really judicial officer, state attorney, and the person in criminal practice. Now for family, you will find a person. That's after now reading your panelists. You find that if this panelist works beyond dishing at LDC, works with the Attorney General's office, not Administrator General's office. So basically, you know, you may want to ask questions about that. So be ready to answer. Or basically, now families, because family, you have a person who is passionate about children. So it is clear. She will ask you about children.
If it's a lady. Children, divorce,
So you have maybe a man in that panel who is biased with marriages, or even a lady actually. So you just want to avoid any question on marriages.
Yes.
Then you have a person who, because of his practice.
So what you're trying to tell me is try as much as you can to know your panelists. And just like they always say, a good lawyer knows the judge. They are going to stand before.
So even you should know the panelists and their areas of interest. You're going to a corporate panel, and there is even if I don't mention him now, you know that he loves employment. He leaves employment on a daily basis.
Yeah.
So you can't do a panel with that one and you don't expect to get a question on employment.
Exactly.
You're going to do a panel before you know that the person works at URSP. Maybe it's a register business. You just want URSP.
Yes.
So you won't go without getting a question from company registration.
Yes.
At least you be prepared for one. You're going to do a panel before a person who is an academician. Now, these academicians have written several papers. After several papers, so what? At least you have read some of those papers. So that's the knowing your panel you're going to appear to.
So if I leave the panel, sometimes we leave that panel you know that I have done nonsense today.
Yes.
How do I handle the situation? How do I calm myself down? Because the truth, you cannot calm down after you know that you failed, and you can tell from that room that you failed. So how do I handle?
Now, surprisingly, the subjects you think that you failed, they come back and
first leave that
yes.
propaganda. First tell us the reality. How do I relax?
It is true. Then another thing you relax. If it is your first
don't
panel.
tell us to drink water and breathe.
No, it is your first panel.
Okay.
So you just know you have other panels to attend. So maybe at the meantime you shall have energy to what is ahead of you. Okay. This one is done, there's nothing you can teach about it. So look at what is ahead of you, because each category, each question matters. You fail few and you're done. So if you know that you have failed the first one, you know I have 4 ahead of me. So instead of keeping when you're about this one you have failed, you start planning for the other one. So somehow your mind is tuned to the ones you're going to face.
And sit and think about what you did wrong and what you could have done better.
Exactly. So that next one you remedy it. Another thing would be everyone has a shock absorber. or a guardian angel. Maybe but I remember I left the puppet panel and honestly, I appeared as if I knew that I had misfired because it was a bit tough. So before that one I'd taken time without talking to my mother. So but from nowhere she called me. So everyone has that guardian angel you call when you're down. It could be a friend. I want to mention my friend Yemani, but so
Yemani.
You talk to a friend or a person who is your shock absorber. I just talk to someone instead of dying in your room alone, and you get depressed for nothing.
Okay, these are also just like some small additional. For now, a law student that is not yet at LDC, but is joining.
Before we go there, I think there's a scenario. Someone asked me about it.
Yes.
It was about role play. Because when you entered for the criminal panel, that you're supposed to maybe we might proceed as a magistrate or what. Okay, for role play, I entered in the civil panel, and the examiner was like, he gave me a witness statement to have it admitted on court record. So the moment he gave me, if you see that whatever you're going to be serving the overall place, I was like, I request that you appoint one of your panelists to be the clerk, the witness, and the judge.
Speaking of confidence.
So because maybe you the complaint part of it. So the moment he said to me, Alfred, did you move? I'm like, yes, I moved. Okay, have this witness statement, have it exhibited on court record. So I knew even there I'm going to need the clerk, a magistrate to make a clerk to have the witness. I need the witness, and I will need a magistrate to give me the ruling. So the first thing I said, I request that you appoint one of your panelists to be a magistrate, another one a witness, and a clerk. So he appoints, but by virtue of asking for that, so that I constitute a court, you will now feel that I knew I am ready.
Know what to do, preparation, knowing, appreciating the law and confidence.
Applying, exactly. So now, but actually, you ended up actually catching up with me, because after now reaching the point of, I feel that this thing is admitted as evidence in Kiev. It was like, so if you don't have defense counsel, So that one, yeah, they actually called me up and because I'm proceeding expected.
I know.
And they love people.
So that's about being alert as well.
Yeah, and they love people finally.
That's why.
Because I was proceeding expected, that's why I didn't appoint.
These things are for smart people.
But
Sorry,
smartness comes from being confident.
True.
And having the other three. I'm talking to my client who believes in me. Or I'm talking to a friend whom I don't be afraid of. I'm talking to a colleague. So why should I be if he's a normal human being?
Exactly.
So there's question you're asking before you
Yeah, so I was going to ask, there could be a student that's not an LDC student yet, but they're watching this. Would you tell them, would you say that a person that is mooting would have more confidence during orals, or orals, big is big, you can't compare? What would you say?
Yeah, if you're a law student, yeah, if you
have been mooting.
Yes, because with mooting, when you moot, your first suggestion is before the moot judge.
Yes.
And
mooting itself is role play.
Exactly, and it builds your confidence, and it further makes you appreciate your law. So maybe now for the law student watching this is, at the beginning of the video, I told you need to do what? They would have to be even at bachelor's, but since it is this time, so for law student, you pass all exams for the moment you enter law school. For example, me personally, the other question they asked me for popular and commercial, the favorite hire purchase agreement. Now the workshops, they have that week when we had about hire purchase, we didn't study it so much in the workshop. So somehow I didn't even look at the hire purchase act. But at my bachelor's, when I was doing each question, I first got that point of beginning with an end in the mind. So at the beginning of when I was doing my law degree, I looked at the questions which are covered at LDC. So for all those questions that were covered at LDC, I gave specialization to them. Even when they were optional, I would do them. So when they asked me about act, I not read about hire purchase by then. I don't read about the act. But I had to flash back my memory to second year. And those are why I got there. So at the moment I said that I'm studying the hire purchase act as a name, then I flashed back my memory to second year. That's where I got the answers from. So that's the extent that you pass all those from the moment you went for a law student.
From the first year.
Actually the back course is passed from when you're doing law school. You don't come out to be serious when they are at back course. But if you come, if you come out this at back course, we are more better than never. But that's that way I will give them personal gift.
Okay, so you know that every successful person that we see has some healthy habits that they adopted, which saw them to their success. You know, I personally cannot. My mom always tells me something that if you want to achieve good things, you have to be a good person, and walk the right ways. So, what healthy habits would you recommend to an LDC student to achieve overall success? Because sometimes we don't fail because we do not know, but because we have failed to drop some unhealthy habits that we have.
First, give me the habits. Maybe that is a hard one.
Healthy habits like
yours, yes.
Oh, my healthy
yours.
habits. My healthy habits, first of all, for people that are religious, I don't know, but it's praying.
Actually, with praying, you got my healthy habit. You should have been telling people, this is luck. Or exams. So I tell guys, pray like you haven't read, and then read like you haven't prayed. So praying is key. It's a habit. Basically, actually, me personally, towards exams, I would first at least 2 days to the exam and telling God, at least spot for me, give me these exams. And then I enter the exam room like for a panel, and I'm like, God, you talk to them, or don't have the guts to talk to them. So somehow, and I tell God two things in mind, soften their hearts, so that they ask things which are good, and even me talk to them.
And find favor.
Then talk to them on my behalf. So basically, I get them when I'm answering. I'm like, God is just looking through me.
Yes.
And even now, when the panel is done or the exam is done, I'm like, you move out and like, God, thank you for getting me through the panel. Please mark the exam with them. So basically, you know, from the before the exam, you have been saying, God, we are going for this. In the exam, when you talk to them, oh, let's do this exam together. So in their hearts, as they asked me, guide the way. So even after the exam, like, thank you, God, we can leave it at that. You mark the exam on my behalf. Me, I'm waiting to graduate.
Secondly, read case law. Huh? Read that one like you know.
But I told you.
And read the acts.
Yeah, actually, those ones go hand in hand.
Hand in hand.
For each section in the law, for each act for a particular section, there is always a case law which discusses that section. So there's a colleague who had even like you get his act and his like, section statement of the Land Act, and he wrote a case law.
Nice.
So his act had a case law for each act. So that one better appreciates you, makes you to appreciate the law from the onset. Yes.
Okay. And another one that people might not agree with, because I mean at LBC everyone's like, oh my god, the stress is too much, so the alcohol has to come in, the weed. What do you say about that?
Man, you have to be sober 24/7. So
But at the end of the day, just do the right thing. Do the right thing. So thank you very much. I think that is all, unless you have any closing remarks.
Yeah, besides this video, there's a thread on my Twitter handle at thread for still has those hints. Okay, it has maybe a few takeaways for preparing for your exams. You look out for it. I think the others, for any comments or feedback, you can always contact and they can respond. We can respond. I know, and either of us can.
Yes. Feel free to reach out.
That was the word.
So thank you everyone. Thank you for paying attention, and I hope this video has been helpful. Please feel free to follow our accounts, mostly at Alfred Muyaka on Twitter. The rest, my account is mostly for poetry. My side hustle is poetry, so my page might not be as helpful legally for you, but to have a helpful page legally, please follow Alfred Muyaka and buy our at this point t-shirts. I don't know that language, but buy these and also buy our notebooks. Yes, you have to buy them. Otherwise, thank you very much and wish you success. May God be with you in the exams and give you excellence only.
Amen.
Amen. Thank you.